Welcome back, guys. Today we are talking about one of my favorite projects out there, Verasity VRA. So we're going to cover a few key chart patterns and analysis, then kind of break down price analysis and price predictions, and then briefly touch on a few recent bullish news tidbits as well. So let's dive right in. The first thing I want to note here, we have a day candle chart to start out, and then we'll get a little bit more granular. The first thing I want to note, and I probably sound like I'm repeating myself over and over again in every video, but we do have a beautiful cup and handle that's formed all the way from May all the way to September. So it's consolidated pretty nicely, and now we're actually seeing a piece of that breakout form just in the last week or so. So great to see that long-term trend, but just kind of wanted to start out with that bit of context right there. But let's get a little bit more granular. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. We have the 50, 100, and 200 day moving averages up here on the board. So what I want to first look at is kind of what's been happening recently. So from September 4th to September 29th-ish, September 30th, so almost a full month, we had this gorgeous falling wedge forming right here. And so a couple of people were catching this just a few days ago and watching for this to eventually hit this bottom. And so we did convincingly hold this support at about 0.027 cents. And then once we kind of bounced off that, we saw this bullish reaction to the upside, which would be expected from a falling wedge. So that's kind of how we got to this point right now. And now it's time to kind of break down a little bit of where we could be going, kind of what the recent price movement means for the near future, and then for long term as well. So let's break that down. To look into that, I kind of want to start back here. So as you can notice, recently we had the 50-day break above both the 100 and the 200-day moving averages. Big thing to note there. So now we want to go back and see what exactly happened when we did that previously. So as you can see right here, it happened right back here in July. And after that, we saw about from that bottom, we saw about a, give or take a few percentage points, 90% gain directly after that cross. And if we kind of compare that to what we're seeing right now, so far we've seen just about 75 percentage points about. So obviously that gives us a little bit more context in terms of where we could be going from here. And then after that, let's see kind of what we saw in terms of a movement back down from that peak. We saw about a 20% drop. So it wouldn't be out of the question to see VRA pop a little bit more and then kind of check a higher resistance point, then come back down to this resistance. So let's kind of look at a little bit more detail there. Let's draw a fib retracement out here and look at some key levels. So the first thing I want to draw out here is this previous high. This is going to be a key level. It sits right between this 0.5 and 0.618 fib level. That's kind of our next key level that we're going to have to break. Given what we've seen before, maybe we have another 20% in us right now, just short term. So that would put us right about here in between these two fib levels. And so what I'm kind of looking for is a break above this previous all-time high right here. And then I kind of think that we play between these two fib levels, between 0.05 and 0.055 cents. We play here for a little bit. And then for the health of the chart, I do think we may come back and test either this 4.4 level or this straight up 4-cent level, because that's just going to be, the chart needs to establish another set of support levels. Before that was, 0.026, 0.027 cents right here. But, we need to, for the health of the chart, kind of support, find a new support higher up to continue going to the upside. So that's what I'm kind of seeing right now. I think in terms of what a realistic price prediction would be, we kind of need to look at what our previous action was. So if we go back to what we were looking at before, back here, when we crossed this key, 50-day above the 100 and 200-day, from that point, we saw more than a 5x gain all the way up to here. So this right here is about 5x, 5.5x, give or take. So that's a pretty nice solid gain. And I think, we're reasonable to expect, a 5x from not necessarily our current levels, maybe from this support level. So to call it, 4 cents flat. So I think, our next mid to short term target would be, around 20 cents ish. So that would actually put us above this fib level up here up top. And I think, we play between 0.2 and 0.15 for a little bit. And then we might come back and retest a previous support that we found along the way. If we did play between these fib levels here for a bit, we may come back down and test a little bit. We may find another support up here higher at one of these fib levels as well once we break above the 10 cent marker. So that's kind of what I'm seeing right now. Obviously, I'm hodling this way into the future. Verasity's my biggest altcoin project I'm invested in personally. So I'm eventually looking for a long-term $1 target. But in terms of what I'm seeing right now, short-term, mid-term, we're probably looking for 20 cents. And, I think that's kind of really what our eyes should be set on right now. Once we break that, we can start talking about $1 and above $1. But 20 cents is going to be a huge, huge key number. Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, let's say we don't have that kind of bullish break to the upside that we're still expecting. We're still expecting, just to recap, 20%, probably more to the upside from these current levels. Then a drop back down to check previous support, and then a rally to 20 cents. That's what we just covered. So looking at what our potential downside could be, let's just draw a retracement really fast. And so we're saying if, we don't end up breaking this, we don't end up breaking this previous high, if we get rejected here and we start coming back down, maybe we end up coming and testing some of these support levels. So, around 3 to 4 cents in here. So we may test these support levels. I honestly think the way that the chart's looking right now, we are more likely going to head to the upside before we head down. But we will check a new support before we head to the upside towards 20 cents. And of course, since the chart is never the full story, it's always good to cover a little bit of news to kind of gauge whether we're going to head to the upside or downside. Luckily enough, Verasity has a lot of positive news circulating recently. They came out and kind of reported on their Q3 roadmap on how they achieved against their metrics. They did quite well. All their socials grew a ton. And this is probably the biggest note out of this whole report. Vera wallet holders grew by 4,060% over 1 quarter. So it's 3 months. And now they have over 200,000 total users in the wallet and a fully diluted market cap of over $450 million. So they're gaining traction, and a lot of what they're doing on the marketing side, hiring a new CMO in Q3, and doing a lot of, kind of the ground swelling on social media has really led to a lot of organic growth for VRA. Another thing I want to note is just what's coming up in Q4. So they're teasing 2 listings on 2 major exchanges. It's thought to be Binance. That's kind of the rumor around Twitter going around right now. No one really knows. They've just said that there's going to be 2 big exchanges being revealed. They have their POV NFT patent coming out to help with NFT authenticity and security. And then an esports NFT marketplace launch, which will be really exciting. It'll be one of the first in the space. So really excited to see how they do on that front as well. And then they're also teasing a integration with the world's largest video enterprise. So excited to see where that leads them, but just a lot of positive momentum, a lot of news, and just a lot of traction for Verasity. You see the community growing. You see the market fit for the tech. And that's a big reason why I'm excited for this project. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you found anything valuable in the video, would love if you dropped a like. And we'll see you in the next video. That's all I got for you guys today.